What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott, and welcome to the Scott Report. Today's feature, I hope to bring some exposure to a few anime that I think deserves more attention. Let's talk about some overlooked anime. First on our list is Casshern Sins. In my opinion, I think the big reason why Casshern Sins went overlooked is because of the times that we were in. Airing late Saturday nights on the then revived Toonami block in 2012, we just wanted the original Toonami programming back, not Adult Swim with a Toonami banner slapped on it like we were getting. Although it's really not too different than what Toonami's doing right now, I don't know, it just didn't have the same feel. And much like Casshern Sins itself, the OG Toonami audience had been grew up by then. We no longer wanted to watch anime on syndicated TV, especially during party hours, not when there were streaming services and other means becoming more prominent, making anime easily accessible. And this was such a shame too, because Sins was a pretty good series, especially if you are a fan of bleak futures and punished protagonists. Casshern Sins is a reboot of the classic Tatsunoko series that may or may not have inspired Mega Man. Sins was more like Mega Man X or the Zero X series, and it had just a bleak and darkness to it that you really didn't expect from that type of series. Set in a desolate future, Casshern was the most powerful robot to ever be created, and of course he lost his memory. And also there's the thing that the world apocalypse was kinda his fault. Sins is a story about him trying to redeem himself of that weight. Casshern is also carrying the stigma that everybody knows what he did, and he's still trying to fight the good fight. I really enjoyed this series. The pacing can be slow, I will admit that, but I think it deserves another look. Next on our list is Escaride. Another series that may have been a victim of timing. I remember Escaride being super popular when it was running on Adult Swim and also earlier in the day on some stations, but now I don't think it's talked about at all. Escaride is a high action octane series that aired in the early 2000s when anime was yet again growing up. It aired in Japan in 2001 and it aired in 2005 on Adult Swim in the United States. I like to call the early 2000s the emo years because this is when anime such as Ergo Proxy, Serial Experiments Lane, and anime like that were taking over the airwaves. It was a lot of shows that just had a serious and darker tone. And then there was this manly series like Escaride, staying true to the shonen genre that was in your face with action and was cooler than ice with the characters and designs that it had. I'm revisiting it myself actually because I don't remember the whole series. I just know I loved watching it and I used to race home to see it. Escaride is set in a world where 1% of the people in Japan have supernatural powers, and the story follows Kazuma and Ryoho, two powerful fighters with powers who are on opposite sides of the class spectrum, who are also both fighting to save the world from intergalactic beings. Well, when they're not fighting each other at least. It's surprising that this series doesn't have a cult following, or maybe it does, and it's more surprising that the only thing it has is a cult following because it was one of the better just watch the action and just go with it type of series that you can find out here. Now that it has an official Blu-ray release coming, I'm sure it might get more exposure, or at least I'm hoping, because it was seriously a fun series, and I think you should check it out if you haven't. Next on our list is Mushishi. Mushishi is a series that even I slept on for a while. What's more shocking is that this series isn't talked about even in the more current times when anime like this is preferred. Mushishi is a slower paced anthology series about a man named Genko, and this world is filled with supernatural entities and spirits called Mushi that interact with the humans just trying to go about and live their daily lives. Genko can see these Mushi and he makes it his occupation to help people who are hurt by the negative effects that they cause. There isn't much of an overarching plot. Mushishi really is just focused on the lives of these people that Genko encounters and how just living in this world affects them. It's kind of a world building and a kind of a personal series. Violet Evergarden is a series that comes to mind when thinking of what I can use as an example of the type of tone that you're getting when you're watching this one. Mushishi trades action and suspense for beautiful animation, compelling storytelling, and it just takes its time to lure you in and captivate you. It's also a good series to watch in the colder months when you just want to warm up and be at ease with a cup of coffee or maybe tea and just enjoy a very good story. I highly recommend this series. It's a really chill and it's a really serene type of series, and honestly it could be considered a masterpiece, which is why it's surprising that it doesn't really get the hype that it deserves. If you're looking for a methodical and thought-provoking anime, I recommend you give Mushishi a shot. Last but not least is the anime that I think is the epitome of being overlooked right now, and that is Rage of Bahamut. It's downright criminal how overlooked this series is. I'm just gonna be honest, guys, I am so baffled by the fact that no one really has watched this series that I don't really know what to tell you but to go and watch this anime. I'll be fair and try to explain why you should though. Rage of Bahamut is a true fantasy series in a market dominated by isekai, and that may be why it's overlooked. Isekai is the only time we get whiffed into a fantasy world now. I mean, come on, this series has freaking dragons. Dragons and some of the most beautiful animation I've seen. I mean, seriously. Rage of Bahamut hit the scene in 2014 when anime was finding its stride and being more popular than ever with the fan bases and just people watching anime in general. This criminally underrated series has stood the test of time, or at least I think so, and it can stand on its own as being one of the best fantasy series in years. In Rage of Bahamut, we join our resident Afro bro Favaro, a bounty hunter who's forced into a contract to help the mysterious and beautiful Amira find her mother in this fantasy world. He's also joined by his elegant and honorable rival Kaiser, who is also a bounty hunter, and as they go further into this world of might and magic, things just get crazier and crazier as they go along, and it would honestly be a spoiler to continue to tell you more about what it is. This series thrives off strong characters, compelling story, and each person that you encounter has their own goals and motivations as you explore this world that's just filled with dragons and angels and demons and even zombies. Oh my god. And every character just looks so cool. And I also need to mention that both openings for season 1 and 2 for this series are just straight up bangers. Guys, please check out this series. It is just so sad how underrated this series is because it is truly a classic in my eyes. Check it out when you have a chance. Trust me, you will not be disappointed, especially if you're looking for a good fantasy series. And that's it for today's feature. Be sure to let me know some of the anime that you feel is criminally overlooked in the comments below. And as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like, and if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Also be sure to hit that bell so you'll be notified when I drop a video. And as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. And I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.